music will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last.
Hello, this is Arthur Mitchell, Artistic Director and co-founder along with Carl Shook of the Dance Theater of Harlem. Dance Theater is now celebrating its 35th anniversary. It was started because of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I felt it was very important that I come back to the community where I was born and do something positive, to take the pent-up energy, focus it, give it discipline. And using the art form that I knew well, that was dance. And from that, we have established one of the finest schools and companies in the world.
I'm Levine Naidu, the new Executive Director of the Dance Theater of Harlem. I'm a proud alum of the Dance Theater of Harlem School, a former member of the company, the former director of the Dance Theater of Harlem School, and a great testament to what Mr. Mitchell has been able to produce.
Mr. Naidu comes from South Africa, and he came here as a student and was a wonderful dancer, but I saw something special in him. And I saw him rehearsing one day, and I saw how he picked things apart. So I said, you know what, Levine? Follow me, pick my head, and learn everything that I know. And he's been doing it. So when it came to the time to find the right person to be the executive director for Dance Theater of Harlem, we all felt that Levine was the perfect choice, because after 16 years of working with me, he does know me, and I know him, and we get along very well, and I think he'll carry on the legacy. He understands it, and he has the ability to translate it to others. And this is what dance theater is about: giving, helping, sharing, and from that, you can't imagine what can happen.
The Dance Theater of Harlem has changed innumerable number of lives around the globe. We thank you and welcome you to the Dance Theater of Harlem, and hope that you will join us as we continue to ensure the legacy of this extraordinary institution, our miracle, on 152nd Street. For those of you who've had the opportunity to experience the Dance Theater of Harlem, please send us your contact information so that we can keep you in touch. Also, a little note about why the work that we do is so important in your life.
Send us the information, and whatever we're going to be doing, we'll let you know, so that you, your friends, your family can come and enjoy and see that, yes, you may have a dream, but that dream can come true. And so we hope that you, after seeing this wonderful version of Firebird, that you too will become part of the Dance Theater of Harlem family. We welcome you with open arms and want to share our beauty with you forever and ever and ever. The Firebird, it is the bird that brings peace, harmony, and love throughout the world. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Dance Theater of Harlem's The Firebird. And again, I want to thank all of you for your support in what we believe.
Major funding for Kennedy Center tonight is provided by the Shell Company's Foundation, supporting the arts, education, and other charities. Additional funding is provided by the Program Fund of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. From Washington, D.C., WQED Pittsburgh, in association with the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, presents another in a series of special events from our National Cultural Center. Tonight, the stunning premiere performance of Stravinsky's Firebird, by the internationally acclaimed Dance Theater of Harlem in the Opera House on Kennedy Center tonight. The impressionistic story of the new production begins, like all fairy tales, in the imagination.
I feel that in every country, whether it is Russia, Brazil, China, or Japan, there's always an enchanted forest somewhere. There's always some place where people are not supposed to be. There's always an enchanted forest where time stops. Once upon a time, in a city called New York, a magic, mystic creature is reborn. Months before the world premiere, the company prepares.
Keep your line. Keep your line there. Okay. There's only one place. There's one. Probably shy. I don't know which girls it are. I think it's your group that does it. The very beginning.
Most people don't realize what goes into the making of something. They see the final product and it looks marvelous. But you have gone through like a pregnancy, 9 months, and then you have the child. The child arrives, it's absolutely gorgeous and wonderful, and you love it. And you forget what happened in the first 9 months before it arrived.
As co-artistic director of the company, Arthur Mitchell is responsible for all aspects of production. A former principal dancer with the New York City Ballet, he founded with Carl Schuck the Dance Theater of Harlem in 1969, and today supervises every detail of its hectic new season.
Hi, Grace. How are you? How you doing? When I was dancing with New York City Ballet, many of the roles that I danced there were created for me by John. When I said, John, I'd like you to do a ballet for Dance Theater.
I felt that I wanted to do something new and something different for the Dance Theater of Harlem. And Firebird, I've always dreamt of doing. Mr. Stravinsky is the greatest composer for ballet. One wants to use every drop of music that he wrote. Firebird has been one of his most famous works, and I don't think has always been particularly well treated. A work that he eventually grew unfond of, made a lot of revisions. But still, it's a great theatrical work, and I feel that it should be done properly. And I've rarely seen, if ever, a production that I've totally admired. Well, to begin with, I'm unstressing the Russianness. I preferred to put it into a mythological kingdom. The Firebird is almost a supernatural character, sort of extraordinary. I try to emphasize the fact that she is a bird, of course, the fact that she is warm and fiery and passionate. It's a terrific role.
I have such a love of Egyptian art and such a craze for it that I believe that I must have lived in Egypt in one of my lives. I don't have my whole philosophy of life completely together, but I do believe in reincarnation. I'm a Cancer, and I know that my rising sign is Virgo and that my moon is in Taurus. I really believe in mystical happenings. And quite a few times people have told me that I remind them of what they think Nefertiti would have been like, that I look like her, or that my neck is shaped like hers, or my profile. So maybe I was Nefertiti. Pink has always been my favorite color since I was a little girl. And I can remember when I was growing up, I wanted a pink bedroom so badly, and my mother wouldn't let me have a pink bedroom because it didn't go in with her decor. So when I moved into this apartment and I decided that I was going to put pink all over my bedroom, and I wear a lot of pink clothes. It's just kind of like a little craze, I guess. I guess that dancing is kind of a narcissistic art, because you do have to love yourself or respect yourself and really take care of yourself, because you're showing yourself to the world. So, I mean, if you can't please yourself, how can you please the world?
The prince is a symbol of purity and innocence. One of Stravinsky's comments is that all Russian heroes, including the one in Firebird, are all so simple that they're almost stupid. But this man, I think, is not stupid, but he is so pure and so without guile that he overcomes everything, including the evil genius, including the Firebird, and finally it's charmed by sort of the pure soul of an innocent young man. But that sort of innocence is not easily available these days. One has to teach it.
I had been doing like little street dances, you know, where everybody gets together and puts a few steps together and stuff for talent shows.
Urban Gateways always has one special performance of about 4,000 kids annually at the Auditorium Theater in Chicago.
My teacher sort of pushed me down there to go. I was like, in tights? That man has tights on. You know, and I was like...
After the lecture demonstration, the woman came back, and she brought 3 young boys, of which they were Donald Williams and 2 others. And he was 13 years old.
I met him backstage afterwards, and he took my shoes off and asked me to point my feet. And he took them and stretching them, trying to see, do you have any facility in stretching the feet, you know? And he said, okay, well, yeah, this is good. You can come next summer, you know, and we'll give you a scholarship. We'll find a place for you to stay, you know. And then if it works out, we'll see if you can stay year-round, you know. I'm only 13 at this time, so I'm like, year-round? And I know my mother was like, my baby. You know, he's only 13 years old. He's going to be away from me. I felt like this is my chance, you know. I want to dance.
Donald Williams is, I would say, the most exciting male dance artist I've ever had. He and Stephanie are going to be something. They're like my young fledglings that I'm developing now.
We have a nickname. A couple of the dancers in the company named us the Pan-Offs because we've worked together a lot. So I call him my Pan-Off, and he calls me his Pan-Off. Both the same sign. We're both Cancers, but we are pretty much different. I watch what I eat. I'm a vegetarian and a natural food eater. I don't eat any meats or any dairy products. Donald's diet, he loves what I call junk food.
The dance theater was on tour in the Midwest. We're in Youngstown, Ohio. It was a snowstorm, and I don't teach, I don't feel like going. I went, and in the class was this young lady, Stephanie Dabney, actually. She was a very pretty young girl, and I said, well, you have all the facility to become a ballet dancer, but I don't want to stop you from doing whatever you want to do. But I will also offer you a scholarship, and once you make up your mind, contact me. Well, she went home and she said she wanted to become a ballet dancer. She told her parents. They said, what? My daughter going to New York City with Arthur who?
Yeah. Mr. Mitchell has had a lot to do with the way I dance. He really nurtured me as an artist. Jeffrey Holder has really, within the last few years, he's been another person who's really helped.
It reminds me of myself when I was young. Very, very noble. I was that way because I was very shy, so I would always move around like a fawn.
That's very flattering to me because, I mean, seeing him move, even now, it's like he just knows. He'll just the slight movement of the head, he'll just, and it's like, that's it.
John Tarras, who said to me, Arthur, I have this crazy idea. I'd like to have Jeffrey Holder do the sets and costumes. And at first, when you hear that, you sort of go like, Jeffrey Holder. Jeffrey's never made a tutu before. But then when you think of the company and what John would like to do with the ballet, it all makes sense. Because Jeffrey's costumes and his sense of color lends itself to fantasy.
I'm trying to create enchantment. It's a fairy tale. And Chagall has his vision, I have mine. Leon Basque has his. Cocteau has his. The dance here of Harlem inspires me a great deal because I think they are very handsome. They're physically one of the most beautiful dance companies I have seen. Every time I'm asked to do something for them, I jump for joy. What comes to my mind when I design costumes, I don't know. I get my marker, and then I draw the human body first, and from there, begin to get into it. And then I attack. Something just makes my hand move. I work it in my head. Boom, 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 boom. That's the bird. Dum, 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 dum. That's the prince. That's the villain. It's like a painting, when you finish your painting, you never know what the result is going to be.
It makes me very nervous to know that I'll be dancing a role that many other great ballerinas in the history of dance have danced. The Firebird is a very special lady. She's a very vain bird. She's a very beautiful bird. The Firebird is a very mystical character. So I have to carry throughout the whole ballet all kinds of moods and different temperaments in this one very strong lady without looking too strong. It's going to be quite a challenge.
Why don't we do the variation straight through from the beginning? Okay, let's go. Big, that's it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1. See, don't look down when you come in. It's as though you rush in and you've come down. You're not coming up. You don't look down and up. That's it. But big. I'd like to see good, juicy arabesque there. The passes are nice, but that's so much larger.
It's always hard to learn new steps and to try to make your body do what the choreographer is telling you to do. But it's even harder to learn a new ballet that's never been set before, that's completely coming fresh out of the choreographer's mind.
See, I want blast out. Let us know that you've landed. And get your head as far forward as you can. Just without music. Forward. That's it. That's good. That's good. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2. That's it. Right, so you get faster and faster. You do piqué, then you do chaîné, and then you go into a pirouette. And I want to see you attack each one of those things. 2 and 1, 2, 1. Okay. Now,
he sees something in his head, and he's telling you what to do, and you have to make your body do what he sees. And it's not always that easy for you to make your body do what he sees because you're not really exactly seeing what he sees.
I think dancers themselves never really understand just how good they are. The wonderful thing is having someone tell them and push them so that they really are better than they ever thought they could be. That's what the choreographer always hopes that he's doing with a dancer. That's it. That was good. That was good. But the same thing, just keep enough strength for that. Stop. Let's do it again. Sorry. 1,
one. Keep the shoulders down, the Shanae.
Music is full of so much passion and drama, so I have to portray that as I dance. This is a role where you get to really dance and be a part of the music and be the music. It pushes you and it fills your insides and makes your emotions come out. And I think that will help me in the portrayal of the Firebird herself.
She has a natural nervous energy.
Down too far. Stay upstairs, too.
Plus she's got that wonderful long neck and she looks like a bird. She's quick, but it's very sharp and very clear. If you watch a bird peck, it's small, but it's very definite. Why, the way it moves, it lands, and it's always, there's a nervousness all about it all the time. And she has that.
3, 1, 2.
How can I describe Stephanie? Stephanie is...
Why don't we go from the beginning? Let's take it a little under tempo so we can sort of see what. That's it. That's it. You got it.
Oddly enough, princesses and the maidens have not been violated by the monsters. They're kept captive, but they are still intact, virginal and still pure.
Bum, bum. You want to see your suffering, so don't make it smaller. Make it large. Don't make yourself a small girl, darling. Even more. So bum, bum, bum. Linger a little bit on that piqué.
Lorraine Graves is a statuesque beauty. She's like 5'11", but she is very southern. She wants to be very ladylike, very demure, and very petite.
Well, I don't think of princesses as being small. I think Lorraine has the wonderful elegance, which I think is extremely necessary for the role. Her height doesn't disturb me at all.
Beauty comes from within, and I think that this princess is beautiful from within, and hopefully by thinking of myself as being beautiful within, it shows on the outside. If there were no DTH, I don't know where I'd be. I had taken class with other companies. You get tired of being told, you're too tall. You know, we really love you, but you're too tall. And if I had heard that once more, it was going to be choose another field. Mr. Mitchell says you're not tall enough.
And I keep saying, Lorraine,